What were your favorite toys?
I liked Lincoln Logs because of the simplicity of it.
See, I didn't.
All my friends were playing with these like the tiny Legos you could build giant things out of. Like I could just build like one house, and it was just very peaceful. I didn't have to worry about making things move or science. It was just like, you stacked up some sticks, and it kind of looks like a log cabin. There's it just was very.
Well, Lincoln Logs were kind of weird, right? Like. I mean, it's like you can only do so much with that, though. It's not like Legos. Like they're not gonna have Lincoln Log Star Wars versions,
Right? Because you could just.
It's an Ewok village,
right? Or you just paint Star Wars on a piece of paper and put it on the log cabin, and it could be anything, It could be like whatever movie it is that now they just live in a log cabin.
See, I didn't like any toy that I had to build.
Yeah, you didn't like Legos?
I honestly I had probably 6 years of denial, thinking I liked Legos because I was supposed to, and everyone liked Legos, and I have nostalgia for Legos, and I love the Lego Movie, but it's like the Mongolian barbecue of toys. Oh, buy it, but you have to build it. It's like cheap labor. It's almost it's almost child labor.
Right, and then when your dad comes home drunk in the middle of the night and steps on him, guess who's gonna have to answer?
Well, that's the other thing. Is the thing about Legos is you break it, you lose one piece, you're screwed. You're totally screwed. It's I can't put the last wing of the X-wing together because I don't have this one piece that I have to buy for $150.
No, the worst is when you get halfway through the third page of the manual and then you can't do it. So it's you see the picture on the box, but you can't even visualize it yet because the piece that you needed in the first 5 steps is gone.
So I feel like I'm not alone on this, but no one wants to talk about it. That Legos are really frustrating.
Yeah, because that means if you are good at Legos, it means you are a smart child.
Right.
And so no one wants to be that dumb kid who played with Lincoln Logs, or the bigger Leg. I would play with the bigger Legos. The ones that were
there's 3 Lego pieces that you have to assemble.
I could
took them 2 days.
I could grow it vertically when they stick together or horizontally where they're just next to each other and they don't stick.
It was also playing with Legos was always such a pain in the ass. You can't do it anywhere,
Right.
You can't. True. You have to we always had to be confined to one room because you don't want to lose pieces, and it's so easy to lose pieces, especially when you're 6. You don't even remember where you threw something, and then you lose them. The dog eats them. You're totally screwed. I think Legos originally when we were younger, young, 4, 5, 6. Legos were really fun because it was almost you just built whatever you wanted kind of thing. But when they started doing these it's Harry Potter Legos and Star Wars Legos, and at that point it was so I build a Millennium Falcon that can easily break. I mean, I can't even play with it like I would normally play with my other toy Millennium Falcon that's solid plastic and then won't fall apart if I drop it.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost creepy. It's if your friend made the Millennium Falcon, it's going to see that was an event with his parents with their hands on his shoulder, look what little David did, and then you walk in and you're okay, dude.
And then they're
this is a little too far.
Your parents come to pick you up and they're look what David did, and your mom's wow, and they're what has Danny done? And she's he made a Lincoln Log house.
he pissed his pants again. You gotta go pick him up.
He did the rectangle Lincoln Log house. Oh, the rectangle one. Oh.